I decided to walk to the top of the Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto. I've been here once before, and it was crowded and I had very little time to spend. Although I liked it, I really didn't feel like I got a chance to see everything the shrine had to offer. So I arrived early this time with the thoughts of getting to the top. The Fushimi Inari Taisha, or shrine, is an important Shinto shrine in southern Kyoto. It is famous for thousands of vermilion torii gates which straddle a network of trails behind its main buildings. The trails lead into the wooded forest of the sacred Mount Inari, which stands at about 764 feet and belongs to the shrine grounds. In the 7th century, the Hata family began construction of the shrine. It is dedicated to Inari, the god of rice and sake. Over the centuries, as Japan slowly transformed itself from an agricultural nation to an industrial one, the shrine became more important for providing luck in business. The shrine's significance has only grown over the centuries, and it is now one of Japan's most visited shrines. Visitors come here not only to admire the stunning scenery, but also to seek blessings for their businesses, prosperity, and good fortune. At Japanese New Year's, for example, more than 3 million people come to pay their respects. Centuries ago, Inari was a fairly minor god prayed to in the countryside for a good harvest. But as rice came to be associated with wealth and power in feudal Japan, Inari rose in stature as a god one prayed to for wealth and success. Taxes being levied on rice as tributes from local lords to the shogunate made rice even more important. In the modern era, Inari is the god to pray to for successful business venture. All those thousands of red gates you walk past are each sponsored, some by individuals and others by companies, and the black lettering on the uphill sides of the gate give the company names or individual names and the date of sponsorship. As you walk up the path, you will notice small sub-shrines scattered throughout the trail. There are a lot of them, so just venture off on occasion to explore them. I found these to be some of the most interesting parts of the hike. As I slowly moved towards the top, the trail got less and less crowded.
Fushimi Inari. Tried to get here before 8. It's already starting to get crowded, but as I've, you can see behind me right now, there's not too many people because I've gone past the Instagram area and I'm walking yet again today up into the hills. I think if you do come here, besides getting here early, obviously, the further you climb, the less people, do it. But I've also noticed trying to wait till everybody gets out of the way so you have this perfect shot that ironically, if I want to do a picture right now, there's no one here. Yet everyone has to stop, hold everybody else behind them. I don't know. It's one thing to, want to capture the moment, and there's another thing to be in everyone's way. The Shinto shrine, I believe to the god of rice, something like that. It is a beautiful place. Got here before 8. It's already starting to get crowded. But as you can tell, I yet again out of shape. Walking up to the top and figure this way, I will, kind of get away a little bit away from the crowds that are slowly starting to form, even at 8 o'clock. All right, so another curious decision. I'm trying to reach the top here. So I got a bit of a view down there, but as you can see, I'm still going up. So more stairs, more torii gates. I believe there's about, I know there's more than 10,000. Getting close to the top, and you'll see here lots of little shrines, tons of foxes everywhere. So if you look here, I don't try not to fall. You'll see foxes here. I'm assuming if I go up a little further, see a fox right here. I mean, they're everywhere. So I finally reached the top, and place is pretty wild. It's just little mini torii gates like this, and then there's foxes, more foxes, and more. Not really sure what this place is up here, but a few people up here, but again, I think most people just kind of stick with which I completely get, with the main area. So it appears that, I'm not sure I actually reached the mountaintop. It might have just been a shrine. There's a 30-minute loop around the mountain. So I'm going to do what I do best, just kind of wander till I figure out where I am. Not completely loving the decision again this morning to walk to the top, but kind of like yesterday, I'm sure it's worth it when I get there, but oh man. It's a lot of steps, and I don't know how far I got, so I'm hoping it's fairly close here to the top. I believe I'm entering another shrine area, because this is not the top, so I have to go up and back down. I have a feeling it's going to be similar to the other one. So I reached another set of shrines. top, or not the top, but a top of the mountain. This is my favorite fox right here. Not sure what's going on, but there's a waterfall and a fox and a, I don't know, funky pose. These are the guardians of the shrine. And so there are foxes everywhere. At the Torii gates, but also at the just random little altars everywhere. But there are more steps and more Torii gates. So, kind of like yesterday, I'm just going to keep going until I get to the top. Taking a little break here. Catch my breath. Definitely up high. Torii gates behind me. Never seen so many in my life. If you think Torii gates are cool, this is your place. I mean, I've walked through, I don't even know, thousands at this point. I think I'm just gonna lay up here, sacrifice myself to the god of rice at this point. So, looks like I'm about 10 minutes from the top, it said. I actually got a sign with a very specific number. So, the trek continues. All right. I'm hoping this is the final stretch. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Dear Lord. And so, not the final stretch. I think this is gonna never end. I'm convinced. Oh my God. The good news is, I saw a sign that says top with an arrow pointing in the direction I'm going. So I think we finally hit what is actually the top of this mount. I believe it's called Mount Inari. This is Fushimi Inari. Again, a Shinto shrine dedicated to I think it's the god of rice, with foxes as the protector. And so I think this thing it's at least over 1,200 years old. I'll have to look at that in more detail. But and I know there's tens of thousands of Torii gates, these red gates you see here. And they keep adding more. I think you can pay a fee and actually have a Torii gate added, but it's not cheap, like 100,000 yen or something. I'm hoping this is the final stretch. Definitely winded. Oh, so this has to be the top. There's just no chance. Looks like I see sunlight up there, hope, all of it. So, heading that direction. So I'm assuming I gotta keep an eye out for boars and monkeys It's not something I anticipated. I think I reached the top, but to be honest, there's not much of a view up there. There was a better view of that one I was at earlier, but up here you can kind of see down below some of the Torii gates, I guess, where I'm heading. Definitely worth to get to the top in the sense of just getting away from the crowds. I think it's worth it just to see those little shrines that I kind of came across. But yeah, there's not a great view specifically. We just kind of hit the peak, and now I'm heading back down. But I imagine, and I'll show this later, but I imagine when I get to the bottom, it's going to be just chaos. It's 9:30. People are going to start showing up. I would suggest definitely going higher. But the point where I thought I was in the top the first time, very similar to that experience right there. So I think you can kind of go about halfway and experience the kind of the shrines and some good views and things like that without going all the way to the top.
As I finally reached the bottom, it was much more crowded than when I had headed up a few hours earlier. It took me over 2 hours, and I honestly wish I'd have taken more time to explore. My focus on getting to the top and the fact that I was getting tired made me concentrate on pushing through and not truly taking it all in. Don't get me wrong, it was still a great experience, but when I come back again, hopefully in much better shape, I want to come at sunrise or sunset and be here for much longer. It really is a magical place and well worth the visit.